Hi, welcome to the quiz. You can answer along on quizalto.com, all for free. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started, good luck. What is the benefit of using fleet indexing in AWS IoT Device Management? It enables peer-to-peer communication between devices. It allows you to search for devices based on their attributes or shadow data. It increases the processing speed of your IoT devices. It compresses device data to save storage space. Fleet indexing in AWS IoT Device Management allows you to index and search for devices based on device attributes or shadow data. This makes it easier to find and manage specific devices or groups of devices in your fleet. What is the purpose of dynamic thing groups in AWS IoT Device Management? To manually assign devices to groups based on their attributes. To limit the number of devices in a group. To automatically add or remove things based on a search query you specify. To create temporary groups for testing purposes. Dynamic thing groups in AWS IoT Device Management allow you to automatically add or remove things based on a search query you specify. This helps in managing devices with similar characteristics without manual intervention. What is the benefit of using fleet indexing in AWS IoT Device Management? It facilitates direct communication between devices. It enables efficient searching and querying of devices based on their attributes or data. It increases the processing speed of IoT devices. It compresses device data to reduce storage costs. Fleet indexing in AWS IoT Device Management allows you to index and search your devices efficiently based on thing attributes, shadow data, connectivity status, and device certificates. This makes it easier to find, monitor, and manage specific devices or groups of devices in your fleet. What is the primary purpose of the AWS IoT Device Management Registry feature? To maintain a record of all your IoT devices and their metadata. To manage the licensing of IoT software. To store historical data from your IoT devices. To register new users for your IoT application. The registry feature in AWS IoT Device Management maintains a record of all your IoT devices and their metadata. It helps you keep track of all devices in your fleet, their attributes, and certificates. Which mechanism does AWS IoT Device Management use to uniquely identify devices within your account? MAC address. Thing name. IP address. Device ID. In AWS IoT Device Management, each device is uniquely identified within your account by its thing name. The thing name is assigned when you create the thing and must be unique within your AWS account and region. Which of the following is not a supported protocol for device communication in AWS IoT Device Management? Bluetooth Low Energy. HTTPS. MQTT. MQTT over WebSocket. AWS IoT Device Management supports MQTT, HTTPS, and MQTT over WebSocket for device communication. Bluetooth Low Energy is not directly supported as a communication protocol with AWS IoT. It would require a gateway device to translate BLE to a supported protocol. Which AWS IoT Device Management feature allows you to monitor fleet metrics and set alarms? IoT Dashboard. Device Monitor. Fleet Analyzer. Fleet Metrics. Fleet Metrics in AWS IoT Device Management enables you to monitor your device fleet's health and set alarms based on aggregated metrics. This helps you track the overall state of your fleet and receive notifications when certain thresholds are exceeded. What is the purpose of the IN_progress status in an AWS IoT device management job execution? It means the job execution is queued and waiting to start. It signifies that the job execution has failed. It shows that the job execution has been completed successfully. It indicates that the device has started the job execution but has not completed it. The IN_progress status in an AWS IoT device management job execution indicates that the target device has started executing the job but has not yet completed it. This status helps track the current state of job executions on devices. What is the maximum number of jobs that can be scheduled on a device at the same time in AWS IoT Device Management? 20. 10. 5. Unlimited. AWS IoT Device Management allows a maximum of 10 jobs to be in the IN_progress or queued state on a device at the same time. This limit helps manage device resources and ensures efficient job execution. What is the purpose of the queued status in an AWS IoT device management job execution? It means the job execution is currently in progress. It shows that the job execution has been completed successfully. It signifies that the job execution has failed. It indicates that the job execution has been scheduled on the device, but has not started yet. The queued status in an AWS IoT device management job execution indicates that the job has been scheduled on the target device, but the execution has not yet begun. The device is aware of the job but hasn't started processing it. Which AWS IoT device management feature allows you to simulate and test your IoT device's behavior without physical hardware? Device Simulator, IoT Emulator, Virtual IoT, Test Fleet. AWS IoT Device Management does not have a built-in device simulator. However, you can use the AWS IoT Device Simulator to simulate and test IoT devices' behavior without physical hardware. The other options are not actual AWS services or features. Which feature in AWS IoT Device Management allows you to create a logical group of devices based on their reported state? Static thing groups, IoT segments, device clusters, dynamic thing groups. Dynamic thing groups in AWS IoT Device Management allow you to create logical groups of devices based on their reported state or other device attributes. These groups are automatically updated as device states change, making it easier to manage devices with similar characteristics or behaviors. Which AWS IoT Device Management feature allows you to log, monitor, and audit device-side metric? Device Monitor, Device Agent, Device SDK, Device Logger. AWS IoT Device Management does not have a specific feature called Device Agent, Device SDK, Device Logger, or Device Monitor for logging, monitoring, and auditing device-side metrics. Instead, these functions are typically handled by AWS IoT Device Defender and AWS IoT Core's logging and monitoring capabilities integrated with services like Amazon CloudWatch. What is the maximum number of levels allowed in the thing group hierarchy in AWS IoT Device Management? 3, 7, 10, 5. AWS IoT Device Management allows you to create a thing group hierarchy with up to 7 levels of depth. This hierarchical structure helps you organize and manage your devices more effectively. What is the purpose of the AWS IoT Device Management, Lifecycle Management feature? To monitor the battery life of IoT devices. To predict the failure of IoT devices. To schedule maintenance for IoT devices. To manage the entire lifecycle of IoT devices from provisioning to decommissioning. The Lifecycle Management feature in AWS IoT Device Management helps you manage the entire lifecycle of your IoT devices, from initial provisioning and activation to software updates, troubleshooting, and eventual decommissioning. Which AWS IoT Device Management feature allows you to create a digital representation of your physical devices. Virtual device. Device shadow. Digital twin. Device mirror. The device shadow in AWS IoT Device Management is a JSON document that is used to store and retrieve current state information for a device. It provides a digital representation of your physical devices, allowing you to retrieve the last reported state and set the desired future state of the devices. Which AWS IoT Device Management feature allows you to define a set of remote operations to be run on one or more target devices. Scripts. Jobs. Workflows. Pipelines. Jobs in AWS IoT Device Management allow you to define a set of remote operations that are sent to and executed on one or more target devices connected to AWS IoT. This can include tasks such as deploying application or firmware updates, rebooting devices, rotating certificates, or performing diagnostics. What is the primary purpose of using thing types in AWS IoT Device Management? To limit the number of devices that can be registered. To define the physical dimensions of IoT devices. To store metadata about a group of things that share the same characteristics. To specify the communication protocol used by devices. Thing types in AWS IoT Device Management are used to store metadata about a group of things that share the same characteristics. This metadata can include searchable thing attributes and their data types, improving device fleet organization and management. What is the purpose of device provisioning in AWS IoT Device Management? To analyze the performance of a device. To update the firmware of a device. To register a device with AWS IoT and set up its identity. To decommission a device from the IoT fleet. Device provisioning in AWS IoT Device Management is the process of registering a device with AWS IoT and setting up its identity. This involves creating a thing, attaching a certificate, and setting up policies to control the device's permissions. Which AWS IoT Device Management feature allows you to organize your devices into groups. Thing groups. IoT segments. Node collections. Device clusters. Thing groups in AWS IoT Device Management enable you to manage several devices at once by categorizing them into groups. You can create a hierarchy of groups, and a device can be a member of multiple groups. What is the purpose of the AWS IoT Device Management Fleet Indexing feature? To create a searchable index of your devices, allowing you to query based on device attributes. To create a physical map of device locations. To compress device data for efficient storage. To increase the speed of data processing on IoT devices. Fleet indexing in AWS IoT Device Management creates a searchable index of your devices, their shadows, and device certificates. This allows you to query your fleet based on device attributes, improving device management and troubleshooting. Which AWS IoT Device Management feature allows you to register multiple devices in bulk? Mass registration, bulk provisioning, batch onboarding, group enrollment. Bulk provisioning in AWS IoT Device Management allows you to register multiple devices at once, streamlining the process of adding a large number of devices to your IoT fleet. This feature saves time and reduces the complexity of device registration. What is the purpose of the succeeded status in an AWS IoT Device Management job execution? It shows that the job execution is queued and waiting to start. It means the job execution is currently in progress. It indicates that the device has successfully completed the job execution. It signifies that the job execution has failed. The succeeded status in an AWS IoT Device Management job execution indicates that the target device has successfully completed all steps defined in the job document. This status confirms that the job has been executed without any errors. Which AWS IoT Device Management capability allows you to securely connect to devices behind restricted firewalls for troubleshooting? Secure tunneling, SSH access, VPN connection, remote desktop. AWS IoT Secure Tunneling, a part of AWS IoT Device Management, allows you to securely connect to devices behind restricted firewalls. It establishes a secure tunnel, enabling you to troubleshoot and manage devices without changing existing firewall rules. What is the primary purpose of using device certificates in AWS IoT Device Management? To encrypt data stored on IoT devices. To limit the computational capabilities of IoT devices. To track the physical location of IoT devices. To authenticate and secure communication between devices and AWS IoT. Device certificates in AWS IoT Device Management are primarily used to authenticate devices and secure the communication between the devices and AWS IoT. These X.509 certificates ensure that each device has a unique identity and can communicate securely with AWS IoT Core. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and, if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.